Welcome to or back to Forgotten Hollywood, the channel where I take you back in time to show you the movies, shows, and actors that have faded over the years. The summer blockbuster has long been about fast-paced thrills and deep emotions. From the hunt for Jaws to the destruction of the Death Star, running from dinosaurs, or fighting aliens, moviegoers have been transported time and again through amazing visuals and compelling characters. Following this trend, lightning has struck twice in the form of Top Gun.
Feel the need for speed.
Released on May 16, 1986, the original film earned $8.2 million on its opening weekend. This at a time when the average ticket price was only $3.71. Not too shabby, considering Tom Cruise was not the box office draw he is now. On May 27, 2022, fans were taken back to the sky with Top Gun Maverick. This second installment earned $126.7 million its first weekend, and that's just domestically. But what makes these two movies a double success? Let's take a deeper look to find out. Just so you know, I will try not to include any spoilers, so feel free to listen to the end. The original film follows fighter pilot Pete Mitchell, callsign Maverick, and his time training in the elite Navy flight school nicknamed Top Gun. Maverick shares a plane with his best friend, Nick Bradshaw, callsign Goose. The pair is a bit mismatched in personality, with Maverick being the reckless show-off and Goose the careful family man. Of course, mismatched pairs are a staple in buddy movies that filled the theater in the 80s and 90s. Examples include Lethal Weapon, Tango and Cash, Men in Black, and Rush Hour. The difference between Top Gun and those films, however, is that the pair start out as best friends and don't have to work at it. Maverick comes to the school with the goal in mind of being the top of the class, the best of the best. This causes him to take risks and push boundaries. Okay, maybe push isn't the right word. It's more like he throws out the map and then draws his own. He is overconfident and treats life with reckless abandon. That is, until one moment shows him how fragile his world is and how easily it can shatter. At that moment, the boy must pick up the pieces and reshape himself into a man. The sequel takes place more than 30 years later. Maverick is now a test pilot living in the desert. After his last fight on the project, he is recalled to Top Gun and tasked with teaching the next generation of pilots the nearly lost art of dogfighting. Though he feels underqualified to be an instructor, Maverick does not shy away from a challenge, no matter how hard it is on a personal level. The common themes in these films are competition, loyalty, trust, romance, family, teamwork, and rivalry. Both films have pilots facing impossible odds in the midst of love and heartbreak. Common settings between the two include the flight school, a scene of playing sports on the beach, and the inclusion of a popular restaurant or bar with a piano. The opening sequences are also very similar, though each illustrates the filming style of the time. Where the original had a slower pace and orange hue, the recent installment was fast-paced and colorful. The rest of the similarities lie with the cast of characters, some old and some new. To start with, you have Maverick, and really his call sign says it all. A maverick is a ranching term to mean an animal without a brand, that they are their own master to do as they please.
What the hell? Good morning, aviators. This is your captain speaking.
Maverick is always pushing the buttons of his superiors, and we see from the second movie this aspect of his character has greatly hindered his career.
Here you are, Captain. Why is that?
It's one of life's mysteries, sir.
However, the growth started in the first movie has clearly continued, and the sequel shows a more mature pilot. He is able to laugh off uncomfortable situations, one that might have angered his younger self, and has replaced his selfish recklessness with, well, compassionate recklessness. Instead of risking others for his career, he risks his career for the sake of others. This carries over into his lessons as he emphasizes the most important thing he can teach his pilots: how to come home. The next character in the lineup is Goose. He's not only Maverick's best friend, but his anchor, keeping him from going too far.
Maybe I could learn how to be a truck driver. Mav, you have the number of that truck driving school we saw on TV, Truckmaster, I think it is? I might need that.
He has Maverick's back in any situation, from the ridiculous to the serious. Though Goose has little screen time in the sequel, his presence is there from beginning to end. Goose is played by Anthony Edwards. Moving on down the list, we have Tom Iceman Kazansky. Iceman got his call sign from his cool detachment. He is Maverick's rival at school and comments on how
You're everyone's problem. That's because every time you go up in the air, you're unsafe. I don't like you because you're dangerous.
That's right. Ice, man. I am dangerous.
However, when the situation's serious, they have each other's back. This trust turns to friendship, as seen in Iceman's return in the second film. He is played by Val Kilmer. The films also mirror themselves, as shown with the inclusion of a love interest. In the first movie, Maverick falls for one of his instructors. While it's not the thing that is normally allowed, Maverick writes his own rules. This brings him to date Charlie Blackwood, a civilian instructor in the piloting program. In the second film, Maverick only has eyes for Penny Benjamin. Their history together is alluded to, but more spoken than shown. In fact, the first reference to Penny is in the original movie.
Well, there was the time...
Admiral's daughter.
What?
He told me all about the time you went ballistic with Penny Benjamin.
Did he? Well, that's great.
Still, the chemistry is there. Charlie is played by Kelly McGillis and Penny by Jennifer Connelly. The second film gives us a whole new cast of pilots that Maverick takes under his wing. The first of these is Rooster, the young son of Goose in the original.
You break my will? Oh, what a thrill. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
Now all grown up, young Bradshaw has seemed to model himself in Maverick's image, his mere image. Rooster is cautious, careful, and wants nothing to do with his instructor.
Forget the book. Trust your instincts.
In time, he learns to listen to Maverick and discovers that there are times when it is best to color in the rulebook. Rooster is played by Miles Teller. Flying alongside Rooster in the new class is his rival, Jake Hangman Saracen. One of the best pilots in the Navy, and he knows it. Hangman is overconfident and seems to find humor in any situation. Now, as he is Rooster's rival in the school, one might think that makes him a counterpart for young Iceman in the first movie. The fact is, he's actually a lot closer to Maverick than Ice.
Who's gonna be team leader? And which one of y'all has what it takes to follow me?
His carefree nature and reckless attitude is one part of that. They also share the distinction of being made backup pilots during the final confrontation. Hangman is played by Glenn Powell. The next of the elite pilots is Natasha Phoenix Trace. Described as a sort of team leader, Phoenix has a level head and strong sense of loyalty. And while a relationship with Rooster is alluded to, her focus is on the mission and what she has to do to succeed.
Your call. What do you want to do?
We're close. Stay on target.
She is also quick to point out when someone needs to reassess their priorities and learn from mistakes. Due to this, her counterpart in the first film is actually closest to Iceman. Phoenix is played by Monica Barbaro. The last of the new characters I will mention is...
I call you.
Bob? No, your call sign.
Bob.
While they only meet when the special class is formed, Bob quickly bonds with Phoenix and becomes her Goose. He is brilliant and skilled at his job as the second seat in her plane and really adds to the dynamic, despite his lack of call sign. Bob is played by Lewis Pullman. These casts make Top Gun what it is, then and now. The chemistry is something that cannot be taught to an actor, added to a script like scene directions. It is a natural thing that you have or you don't. These actors have it, and it makes a world of difference. You see, a film cannot stand on visuals alone. Now, don't get me wrong, the visuals are phenomenal. Top Gun Maverick takes practical effects to the extreme by filming the actors in the cockpits of real jets during maneuvers. You can't get more real than that. Still, the look of the film is only part of the whole. A good movie doesn't rely on how big the effects budget is, but how well the actors convey the plot. In both Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick, you are made to know the characters, feel with them, share in their triumphs. That is the mark of good filmmaking, and what makes these films classic summer blockbusters. Thanks for watching. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell for notifications. Let me know if there is any other sequel or remake that deserves a second look, and I will catch up with you next time.